Hey guys, Alex here, back again with another review. Tonight it's Manhattan Mayhem II. I bought this DVD not too long ago off highspot.com, and I bought it for basically two reasons. One was Briscoe's versus Kevin Steen and El Generico was on this match, and that's got to be great. And also it had a match of the year with Takeshi Morishima versus Bryan Danielson for the ROH World title. So I wanted to see if it was actually live up to the hype. So let's get started here with the very first match, which was Erick Stevens and Matt Cross versus Jigsaw and Mike Quackenbush in a tag team match. Really good match to start the card. Good back and forth action. A lot of good high spots between Matt Cross and Jigsaw, and good technical wrestling. You know, really all around. This was exactly how you want to start up a match or a show, because you had a lot of good action to get the crowd into it, and the crowd really got into this match. The ending was great, which this whole show really had phenomenal ending. The ending really picked up at the end of every show or every match. So really impressive. So this was, like I said, this was really great. A good way to start the show. I give it a 3.5 stars. So next we had Jimmy Jacobs versus Mitch Ryder. Mitch Ryder is Grizzly Redwood. Back in those days, that's what it was called. That's his real name, I guess. And this was basically Jimmy Jacobs' re-debut. He debuted on the show before this one, and so it was back from an injury. So it was basically just a squash. Jimmy Jacobs went in there, did a few power moves. Mitch Franklin got a few offensive moves in there, but it was basically Jimmy Jacobs beating him, just to re-debut and come back strong. And it was good. I give it a 2.25. It was fun, it was short, and it was to the point, and it was effective at what it was supposed to do. Then we had BJ Whitmer, Adam Pearce, and Brent Albright versus Delirious, Nigel McGuinness, and Pelle Primeau. This was pretty good. I liked that it was a part of a big story where it was, I think it was BJ Whitmer turned on Delirious, or maybe it was Brent Albright. I wasn't really into this storyline back then. And so Delirious was coming in there looking for vengeance, and he recruited two guys to help out. And the one problem I had with this match was the fact that during this match, the heels worked over one guy and then hot tag, blah, blah, blah. Classic tag team formula. The problem was that Delirious was the guy that got worked over more. And it wasn't like Pelle Primeau, the guy who's smaller. It was, Delirious, the guy who's supposed to be wanting vengeance and should be, kicking their ass. And he should be the one getting the hot tag and coming in and saving the day. So I kind of had a problem with that, but other than that, it was fine. And like I said, I think the working over was kind of boring, not really entertaining, but the finish was good. I really liked the whole brawl aspect of this, like where Delirious just came out and just started beating the hell out of everyone, and then the fight afterwards. So really kind of accessed the fact that this was a heated rivalry, which was good. So it was alright. I give it a 2 3/4. It was entertaining, but just I think the heat segment was a little too long and a little too boring, and I didn't like the fact that Delirious was the one getting beat down. Then we had Davey Richards versus Pac. This was great. I felt that this should have been better considering the two guys was in, but it was alright. I don't think they really had enough time to do great stuff. Davey looked strong here. Pac had a little bit more of a mat-based wrestling match than he's used to. He's used to just doing high-flying matches. At least what I heard. Actually, I think this was my first match I've ever seen him in, so it was good. But Davey was really impressive. Really helped get Pac, and him had a really good match, but I just felt that they could have done better given the talent that they have, and even back then they were very talented. I give it a 3.25. It was good. Then we had Roderick Strong, Austin Aries versus Jack Evans. This was, for me, the undercard match of the night, and what I mean by that is that this was just very, very good and had a very good story to it. What it was during this time, Roderick Strong's group, the No Remorse Corp, was feuding with Austin Aries' group, the Resilience. And Jack Evans was starting his own group and going to be feuding with the three of them, or the two of them, because they were all part of a group called Generation Next a few years ago. So this was kind of Jack Evans come out. He said, I found my group, or my first group member, and brings out Julius Smoke, who was Homicide's old manager when he was ROH World Champion back in 2005, I think. And so, that kind of starts the whole faction. They're going to be having a big three-way faction war. This match was really good, though. The match itself was great. Really good, high action, really non-stop. It followed the classic triple threat rules where two guys fight, one gets taken out, then the guy jumps in, blah, 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 blah. But it was still entertaining. It was still a lot of fun. The one part that really bothered me about this was the fact that, like, right near the end, the referee got knocked out. So Roderick Strong brings out Davey Richards, and Davey Richards starts helping. Julius Smoke gets on the mic and says, oh, you know, here's the new member of our faction, the Vulture Squad, and brings out Ruckus, a CZW guy, and helps out, gets Evans the advantage. And then Austin Aries brings out Matt Cross and Erick Stevens of the Brazilians, and, you know, it's a big brawl and everything. And I felt that kind of took away from the match. It kind of distracted the whole match and really got it off track. And I felt that they could have just done it after the match and been a whole lot less chaotic and everything. It was kind of almost Russo-esque. And I don't like saying that about ROH, but I just felt that it was a little too crazy. But finish was fine, and then, you know, afterwards they kind of, you know, have it, you know, have a little bit more of a brawl, I think, I'm not sure. And then, you know, but they're just said it was just basically this was a catalyst for another bigger feud that happened later on. But I just felt that the brawl took away from the match a little bit. But I still give it 3.5 stars. But I think without the brawl, it might have been 4 stars almost. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. And then we had Ruckus versus Eddie Edwards in Ruckus's debut match. Eddie, actually, I want to say this right now. Eddie had horrible hairdo back this day. He looked like he had like long dreadlocks. He looked like Matt Hardy when he made his debut in TNA. Really bad hairdo. Thank God Eddie got rid of it. This match was fine. I thought Ruckus didn't get enough offense in, and he was supposed to be debuted, and it's supposed to make him look good. And I think Eddie looked better in this match than Ruckus did. But it was fine. It was short, so I'll give it 2.25. You know. Then we get to Claudio Castagnoli versus Chris Hero. This was the first match of their feud after the Kings of Wrestling had broken up, and Chris Hero had joined Larry Sweeney and Sweet and Sour Incorporated. And this was a good match, but I felt that these two guys really didn't go all out. This was the first match of a very long feud they had, so obviously they weren't going to do everything at once. But it was good. You know, again, like I said, every match had a great ending. This match had a great ending where they were just doing all their power moves and just couldn't put each other down, and, you know, really helped get this match over a little bit more. I give it a 3 1/4. You know, it was good and really helped build up to the feud. So it was really entertaining. But you know, you kind of expected more from the two guys. But you know, first match in the feud, you don't want to go all out. Then we get to Takeshi Morishima versus Bryan Danielson for the ROH World Title. This is the 2007 match of the year. And I don't know about that, but it's a damn good match. This is probably the best match I've ever seen Takeshi Morishima in. And just phenomenal job. Bryan Danielson came in there and had like a good story idea where he'd work over Takeshi Morishima's leg, and Takeshi Morishima started beating the hell out of Daniel Bryan. And this is actually the match that Bryan Danielson got his detached retina. And, you know, you could see why, because Takeshi Morishima was extremely tough in this match. But like I said, really good matches, really good at putting over the idea that Bryan Danielson could win here, and just putting over Takeshi Morishima as an unstoppable monster. Really good story elements in this match. That's probably why it's so popular. And it really was the catalyst for a great feud in ROH, which I'm actually trying to watch more of the show stuff so I can watch it, including the Final Battle 2008, where they had their big fight without honor. But this was a great match. But I don't know if it was match of the year quality, but definitely worth going out of your way to check out. This is probably Takeshi Morishima's best match in ROH. 4.5 stars. Really, really fun. Then we got the last match, which is a 2 out of 3 falls match for the ROH World Tag Team titles between the Briscoes and Kevin Steen and El Generico. This is part of their big, long feud they had for the tag team titles, and this match was just as good as any match they've ever been in. This match was awesome. The first fall was kind of slow paced, but, you know, it picked up near the end. But that second fall was incredible. Just unbelievable back and forth stuff where it looked like these guys were just beating the hell out of her, giving everything they had, and just couldn't put them down. And it was just incredible. And it really got the crowd into it. It really got me into it. And just great back and forth action. These two teams worked incredible together. They really had good story elements into the match. It was just basically, what is it going to take to put these two guys down? And that's really good when you want in a tag team match to really help put each other over. And phenomenal. And they also set up at the end of the match for the ladder war that was at Man Up, which I own. And it's actually a really good match as well. This match was 4.5 stars. This was as good as the Bryan Danielson Takeshi Morishima match, in my opinion. This match was awesome. The two main events were great. The whole show, though, I say is really, really entertaining. I give it 8.5 out of 10. Definitely worth going your way to watch. It is really like this whole show is all about building up feuds or starting feuds. So I think that's really worth watching if you're into this the 2007 era of ROH. But really good, worth watching, and I gave my recommendation. That's it for now. Take care. Bye.